questions. Yeah, I'm about to say, why did it keep playing? I think they know we're here. You on mute.
Someone clicked the loop option.
I have no idea. All this
Saboteur. Saboteur. See, this is more speculation about you being a cop. You already had said you were trying to record your uncle. That tipped me off right away. Like, this man's trying to record conversations between, private people. So that's adding fuel to that fire of you being an FBI agent. But
well, the dude is from Oakland and he funny as hell, so that's why I was trying to record him.
But we're back. Thanks for
talking about. We can never talk about here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can barely talk about it on tangents. So that goes to show, if you can't talk about it over there, you can't talk about it anywhere. Off-air conversation. So we apologize for the intro. The intro, so nice we had to play it twice. We're getting back up and running here at Banks versus Davis. Small kinks are working out. We're sorry we missed out last Sunday. We were supposed to go live, but then there were issues on my end. Now we're back up and taking care of business like usual. So appreciate y'all tuning in on our path to 500. So make sure you share, like, subscribe, comment, all that. We appreciate it. If you're new, thanks for checking us out. If you're old, we appreciate you staying over these last 5 years. Crazy to say.
It's been exactly 5 years or something like 5 years.
It's been 5 years since October, since we did that first episode about the WWE Untold between John Cena and Edge.
Well, shit, let's make some noise for that. Yeah.
But the episode we were going to do last Sunday is still relevant, despite everything else that's come up in the last couple of days. It's been quiet, but what we were going to do is tease out what the coming weeks are going to be. So this Saturday, we're open to go live after John Cena's last match against Gunther on Saturday night's main event. React to the match and our thoughts about Cena's retirement, career, and all that, and kind of talk about the rest of the show as it goes on. They're trying to stack the card with Javon Evans, Leon Slater versus AJ and Dragon Lee. Your man, Obama, Don't Call Me Obafemi versus Cody Rhodes. And I can't remember the other matches as of late, but John Cena said he wanted the show
Obama
to be...
got to carry that match too.
It was
so we don't fall asleep. He got to make that match interesting.
Either way, it was going to be Cody being carried by someone, because the other person was Ricky, Don't Call Me Stark Saints. He'd have to carry him, which, I mean, is what it is when it comes to that. I'll carry you, pal. I'll carry you.
Is that how you sound?
Is that how he sounded to you?
No, but I can't make the voice that I want to about how he sounded to me.
Yeah, you had an interaction or an encounter, a chance encounter with the man.
Several. Yeah, I used to see him at the gym.
I always feel like there's somebody watching me. And his name is
he's Cock Diesel. He
okay, see, all right, here I'm gonna all right, bang, I'm gonna bang the gavel right here. The way you and I said this in the chat, I gotta say it publicly. Y'all want to say pause every 5 seconds like some fucking children, but y'all will say Cock Diesel with no hesitation. Grow the fuck up. Stop.
He say it too.
No, I'm calling him out.
He got it on the soundboard.
Brandon, I'm calling you out too. Be a man.
Damn, you saying government? People already hate him. You saying his government names? They might line him up.
You want to
God
say
willing.
super cock diesel, but yet you pause. Hey, you pause. Like, be a
I don't
man.
say as much as I used to, because
It
somebody got
don't
mad at me
fucking
for
matter.
saying it. And usually I
Anyway,
don't give a fuck when I say certain stuff and people be mad, but can we? Oh yeah, we 5 minutes and I can cuss now. But yeah, I still felt like I had to harkle back a little bit on saying pause.
I listened to an old episode where you had said, I cuss a lot and Joe cusses a lot. You're like, the only person that cuss more, because you and Amber were talking, like, the only person who cusses more than Joe is fucking Davis. And I'm like, you're cussing right now, motherfucker. Like,
No, I cuss a lot, but fucking Joe cuss a lot. But he had to harkle back too because Am's grandmother was like, "That boy, why he cussing up a storm like
why is
that?"
he swearing, honey? Why is he?
Yeah, she was like, "He just be cussing up a storm." I'm like, "Yeah." So he kind of harkled back a little bit, but legit, I don't think nobody cuss more than Kevin Nash, bro. Every other word is fuck.
You
I
would
listen to podcasts. I'm like, he said that shit every 5 seconds. I'm like, God damn, OG. I can't even listen to his pod out loud because he be motherfuck this. I'm like,
motherfucker
God
fuck,
damn,
motherfucker fuck, noise, smoking
smoking
weed,
weed.
drunks doing smoking blunts, drinking beers. Who rolls the
Yes.
blunts? We roll the blunts.
Dog, and it's just damn near like that. I'm like, God damn, dog. How many times you
Bruh.
gonna say fuck and motherfuck? But guess who's saying motherfuck? We got the money, motherfuckers.
Hang on,
Damn,
and then
we definitely don't get monetized. Go ahead.
so yep, this Saturday, John Cena episode. I might try to do something Sunday. I'll hit up someone to see if they're interested. Talk about college football playoffs that start next week. And then after that,
Beat up?
we fuck no. And
Be a Clemson fan?
Clemson ain't playing, so I don't care. Clemson ain't in it. I don't care.
Is that how you sound?
Well, I can't do how
Whatever,
I want to do,
Jesse Jackson.
which I do a nasally type of voice, like. But
All right, he gonna be on your ass as soon as he
um,
hears this.
we're gonna end the year with the year in review, basically more so about movies, but other parts of the year that we want to talk about.
It's
But
gonna be 10 minutes because ain't
not for me,
shit
and not
came
for me.
out this year.
I'm doing my catch up right now. There are movies I've been finally watching that I've been postponing, so I'll
What
do
movies?
my. You'll hear about them on this episode. I can't give it away.
I can't wait to hear all two movies. Dog, ain't shit came out this year. Superman.
I just talked about Superman with X and Van last night. Shout out to Black Variant. Make sure you check that episode out. Subscribe to their Patreon, all
Yeah,
that.
I'll be listening.
But
Sinners and Superman. That's the double S's. That's the only thing I like this year.
Mission Impossible 8.
Oh shit, that's 3.
See, that's my point. So we'll do year in review, movie breakdown of 2025, and then the episode after
Damn,
that
that
will be
was this year.
the episode after that will do the big 2026 movie preview. We each will pick 5 movies we're really looking forward to, 5 that we're not looking
We got
forward
to do
to.
10.
But either way, we'll do the ones we're looking more forward to the most, and the ones we're looking forward to the least, and then the ones that are on the bubble. We'll do that. So make sure y'all are tuning in. And then I do want to join you on this episode. You keep teasing about the sports fan bases. You keep talking about the Bears. There's one fan base that's worse than the Bears, but we'll talk about it on that episode. So make sure y'all are tapping in, turn those notifications on, so that way you don't miss out.
And hit the like button. And thank you all to the new subscribers. Tell somebody else, man. I really want us to get 47 away? 47 away to
Yep.
500. And we only got according to my calculations, we only got 20 days left, bro. Hey, if we can get 3 people a day to subscribe, I think we hit that mark.
What are you, Dexter? According to my calculations, we are
20. Actually, yeah, about 20. If we can get, if we or 2 people a day. Actually, 2 people a day. We get 2 people a day. We'll hit 500 by the 31st. That'd be crazy if we actually get to either 499 or 500 by the 31st. That'll be insane. But I'm gonna speak it to existence. We gonna get there, bro. Just like a one night with India Love. That's how I'm gonna speak it into existence. I'm gonna speak
Ooh-wee.
these 500. Oh, you know who that is?
Yeah, of course. Come on, come on.
No, I didn't know a lot of people
That's the only
knew.
time I enjoy seeing the LA logo. That's the only time I'll see
I
that LA
mean,
logo and not go into a furious rage of like, "Ugh."
yeah, we're gonna have one of those episodes. Well, we're gonna have a predictions episode at preseason, but at the same time, the episode is gonna be. Guess what? The Dodgers signed four more Hall of Fame or four more players, and they got three Hall of Famers on their team. Guess what? They're gonna win another World Series. That's how the prediction will go.
Yeah, but like Banks said, speaking of,
Hey, Dad, I want to be I want to be just like this basketball podcaster. That's his music is in my ear right now. That's all. So yeah, the real cut wrist. Go ahead, Davis.
so last week the news broke that Netflix is gonna buy Warner Brothers. It's funny how the tables turn because don't forget that the one in shut up and pay attention. The one that was gonna buy Paramount before Paramount was bought by Skydance was Warner Brothers. So this is a weird topsy-turvy chain of events where like Warner Brothers and Paramount were supposed to be the ones merging a year and a half ago. I think we were barely talking about this because it seemed like it was such a long shot to combine those two legendary movie studios and their libraries and falling dynasties, basically, because the people in charge of Paramount were doing a bad job in trying to course correct with the way they were spending on movies in particular compared to the success they're having on television, particularly Taylor Sheridan shows, which we'll get to, and the kids shows, because they always do well with kids, given that they're Nickelodeon and all that. But Warner Brothers and X and I's number one enemy over there, David Zaslav, was doing everything in his power to fuck up Warner Brothers by merging it with Discovery and calling it Max instead of HBO Max and devaluing HBO's brand and then saying this about the company and then what the type of movies we want to make. They've actually had a successful year at the box office considering they've had Sinners, Minecraft. They were partially successful for F1, which did good business. And there's one other movie I'm missing out. But I'll get to the failures that Paramount had at the box office in general this year. But what do you think of this merger right now as someone who's been in the entertainment business in the smaller roles and obviously still trying to make it? Do you think this is good or bad?
It's always bad. You know why? Before mergers happened, it was bad. Look at the industry, the music industry in general. When Capital, I think Capital teamed up with somebody, I think, or Universal Capital, somebody teamed up. It was like the beginning of the end. Capital Records is the famous, label in music. I can't think about too many people that signed, but it's like some legendary acts, so I don't want to mess that up. But again, like I said before, amp, the entertainment industry isn't meant for the creators to make money. It's meant for the business to make money.
Yeah.
Just like a regular 9 to 5. Don't matter if you work at Walmart, Best Buy, the lumber company that's independent contracted, whatever the case may be. Don't matter if you're an NBA player. It does not matter, dog. Yes, you making two, three, $400 million, but guess what? Bread and circuses. The owner of the company has billions of dollars. It's never meant for you to make some money. It's very rare, particularly in the film industry, for you to make money unless you do your own thing. So with this, it's always, what are the creators gonna do? Hell, nothing. Look for a job. That's what you can do because this is showing that, hey, first of all, I don't want to get on my soapbox, but let me say this, man. The fact that Paramount had what? They said they got 800, or not 800, I'm sure. tweaking like 80 billion in liquid
80,
or
yeah, to
100
buy the
billion.
company. Yeah.
But motherfuckers are sleeping outside in the cold. Man, what type of country is this, dog? And don't let me get started. But like I said, this ain't C-SPAN. I'm just saying. So I can see this playing out that first of all, I'm surprised Warner Brothers ain't said bet. They ain't been the knee on this deal. They come on, that sound better than what they getting from Netflix. But my whole thing is we're getting to a point now where it's gonna be the two evil empires. It could be Paramount, which is the biggest film company in history, obviously, if they could pay for Warner Brothers, and then you got, or the second biggest pause to film company ever, and then you got, I'm sorry, Disney. So it's basically about to be two companies, and they own subsidiaries. It's gonna be Paramount being a juggernaut, and it's gonna be Disney being a juggernaut.
And that's what I want to get into with this Hollywood Reporter article. I took a lot of notes from last week by Pamela McClintock. So it starts with Paramount's top animation executive, Ramsey Naito, a woman. She was let go recently, and she was responsible for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and the Paw Patrol movie. Those are big box office successes for Paramount in the last 2 years. And that's what I was saying a few minutes ago, is that they have a core audience of children because of their IP and what they control with not just the Mutant Ninja Turtles and Paw Patrol, but Sonic, like we talked about last week, and what they're going to try to do with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles post Sonic. So they let her go despite her success because she also produced the Smurfs movie that came out this year, which had one of the worst trailers I've seen at multiple times at the cinema this year. It was so annoying. Every time it came on, I wanted to bash my head into the seat I was in. And I can see why that was a failure, because they really just hyped it up on Rihanna voicing Smurfette. And the animation looked very poor. And this was a fully animated one. It wasn't.
Was she on her fifth kid when she was doing the voiceover work?
I ain't going to go there again. I'll never say a bad thing about Rihanna. But it also seems like she was pushed out because Paramount is kind of leaning towards a bro-y right-wing type of culture in the offices at the studio. So obviously her being a woman, she kind of saw the writing on the wall, so she wasn't surprised by her dismissal. And that's what this article is trying to say, is what is Paramount looking to do? Do you want to say something about that, or?
You know me, dog. I already got like 20. All I'm about to say is she tried to pitch a cooking channel and they just said no. How about you actually go to one? Go ahead.
You don't need to be pitching.
No, I'm trying to get a job Paramount. They right wing. There you go.
But, well, by them being, I always struggle saying R and W words back to back, like Russell Wilson and all that.
Wait, what you say now? R and W, R N words. What you say?
No, okay. You know what? If you want to do this today, we'll do it today. All right.
No,
but what this article is also saying is that, like we talked about last week, they're willing to give problematic people in the business, like Brett Ratner, another chance to redeem themselves by giving them one last shot at making a feature.
That's Trumpito.
That's what this article is saying, is that, but this is because Larry Ellison, the Oracle himself, is really the money behind Skydance, because David Ellison, his son, is a trust fund kid. I mean, granted, we would all be doing what David Ellison is doing in the same shoes. I'm not knocking him for that. If you're born the son of a billionaire, you're going to want to do the same exact thing of like owning a sports team, owning a movie studio, this and all that.
If me and you was trust fund babies, trust me, dog, this podcast would be in Idaho for some reason, live with 500,000 subscribers.
Exactly. And David Ellison, he's had a successful career as a producer with Skydance. You would always see the Skydance logo before a lot of Paramount movies. He took on a lot of Tom Cruise movies, as I'll get to later on in these notes. But like I said, they've been leaning into like the people who are undesirable at the moment to give them another shot, because they were successful in the past. They might have one last chance at greatness, and that's Johnny Depp and Will Smith, who they've given deals to in the last couple of years. They gave Will Smith a deal post the Oscar slap, and they've given Johnny Depp a deal post the messy divorce trial of Amber Heard.
And
So
they ain't
this,
doing shit with it.
but that's where we're entering these tricky waters of like, obviously they have deals, and you know how deals work. Nothing can be done and money can't be spent. It's just a name to a piece of paper at the moment. But Will Smith's career is obviously on a point to where he's trying to figure out certain projects to get him back in good graces. He just was in the
No, it's
Bel Air.
over.
It is over. It's over for Johnny Depp too. They keep talking about, do they need to bring him back for Pirates 5 or 6, whatever it is.
I think they had 6.
Yeah.
I know where the 7th one to be. The Castro.
But it goes also back because NBC Universal fired Jeff Shell, the new president of Paramount, because he had an affair with someone, and that caused a whole sexual harassment suit once that affair was made public. And that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. The guys who they're putting in place are the, Fox News, red pill, white men in charge to put things in positions that normally wouldn't
So you
be.
saying, so if they do this, that mean they gonna bring back Pepe Le Pew? If they buy Warner Brothers and they gonna have him
By
his own
reading this
show?
article, they are trying to become the new Fox, because Fox gave up on content when they sold 20th Century Studios to Disney. All the Fox programming in terms of original content, like all the shows that they air when there's not football on the channel, are either animated or low procedurals that get canceled after a season or two. So Fox itself, the studio, that it cares more about sports and the news business. And the point I always would hear when I would listen to Matt Bellini's podcast, The Town, he would talk about the rift that happened between Rupert Murdoch and Donald Trump over the years, where Rupert Murdoch wasn't necessarily fond of Trump after a certain point. Therefore, the Fox News bump wasn't really pushing the Trump agenda as much as it was worried about pushing the right-wing agenda. Obviously, those are two sides of the same coin. But granted, it seemed like Rupert Murdoch had no problem saying Trump was bad or showing that Trump was bad. The idea of what Paramount wants to do now, I think, is Trump good, with the way it's going to rebrand its news business by firing certain news anchors and hiring certain news anchors. And obviously the people in charge are the ones who probably are in the same party as David Ellison and Larry Ellison and Trump, of like, hey, we're all on the same page here. Let's show that with this network and these channels. Okay, because after that, they had to go back to the people that they hired post scandals. Skydance, prior to Paramount, they hired John Lasseter, the man who created Pixar, after he had his sexual harassment scandals with Disney. When he resigned, they hired him to do animation at Skydance. And he only
These weirdos can't go buy no coochie.
No, you know that.
Damn, just hey, you're so rad. You have balloon, man. If you don't go pay that $250.
I've never been in an office scenario like that, but it's the way it's always described is the power play of like, what are you willing to get to a higher up position, right? Do you want to stop making copies and getting coffee? Do you want to do this? Do you want then,
Let me tell you something. It's worse in the warehouse and everybody got the same job title. I know a dumbass right now. I ain't gonna. He ain't listening. I ain't trying to snitch, but I told this little stupid ass, "Hey, bro, you need to chill out. Motherfucker can't even go home now."
So this is the new Paramount they're trying to create. Like I said, yeah, bro, America, right? The illegals, what? This, what? Women, what? Like they want to get back on that. They want to get on that.
Cold?
Yeah, they want to get on the train of like, hey, this is America. We don't need this and that going on. You want manly shit, tough guy shit. Yeah, you want America shit, right? Yeah, you want this and that. And something that's the cause of this is the toxic masculinity culture that David Ellison is creating, because he's calling this bidding war between Netflix and Paramount over Warner Brothers tilted and unfair, which is typical whiny, wah, 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 I can't get what I want. Stop my feet. I'm going to go to my daddy and say we need more money to get the toy I want.
It's Tony Khan.
It's any bit like Stephanie McMahon, Tony Khan, the buses, the Steinbrenners, everyone.
Stephanie McMahon's favorite color is one.
we're not going to talk about wrestling today, all right? We don't have the time or the
No,
patience
ain't
to do
nothing
that
to talk
today.
about, so it don't matter.
And this goes to bring it back to, like I said, the failures are having as a movie studio. They've only had one theatrical success in this entire movie slate. Not even Mission Impossible was their movie that brought them the most success this year. It was the movie called Regretting You, starring Allison Williams, Dave Franco, Scott Eastwood, and McKenna Grace. It's a movie about a girl who realizes that after her dad and aunt died, that they might have been having an affair. And it's by this author, Colleen Hoover, who was the author responsible for the movie that caused the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni
Where you
scandal.
from? You said what's his name?
No, Colleen. She's a woman.
No, you said he from Hoover.
Colleen Hoover is the name.
Okay, I thought you said where she from
She
Hoover.
has all these toxic relationship type novels that are being fast tracked to movie studios. She has one with
so it's White Tyler Perry.
Yes, white female Tyler Perry. Yes, there's one about the girl who was in It Follows, and her male lead in that movie is Tariq Withers, who was in Him. That's their next movie, and she also has one
light skinned dude with the perm. Okay,
yeah, and then her other movie other book that's being turned into a movie is going to have Josh Hartnett, Anne Hathaway, and Dakota Johnson.
What's her name again?
Colleen Hoover.
I'm gonna have to watch this white drama.
She's like one of the most successful authors of the last couple of years. But like I said, it's a lot of it's like you described it perfectly. It's white Tyler Perry, like a woman in crisis, a woman in trauma core.
Yeah, I like white drama. I like when they get into it with each other.
As someone you don't like said, Ferris Bueller isn't real because white people shouldn't be able to get away with that much stuff.
Who said that?
Ben Staples said that. He said he hates.
I ain't say I like him. He just ain't funny.
He is funny. All right, we're not gonna. All right, so because
also
they've had.
Too.
Oh, go ahead.
My fault to cut you off. Also too. Who's booking Dave Franco? Who is his agent, bro? You need to get him Christmas dinner. Why are you still getting work, bro? Because your brother can't get work.
Dave Franco, I don't think is a bad actor, but I necessarily don't think he's a good actor.
His teeth piss me off. Like the way he smiled. Why you smile like that, dog?
I mean, like in the Franco stoner eyes, like, hey man, that's crazy, man. Hey.
Yeah, they genetic pool is crazy. Like
he was great in 21 Jump Street, though. He was great as
everybody was.
Shit. That is fair point.
Everybody, you right, but everybody was.
Hey man, you tripping, dog? Why you gotta do that, man? We're all being polite over here. And then he punches the guy. I didn't punch you because you're gay. I just punched you. Like, hey, that's not cool. We ain't with that over here.
Bro, to this day, one of the funniest scenes ever is when he was on the freeway and that chicken coop exploded.
And it exploded. 21 Jump Street. Back when Phil Lord and Chris Miller could make movies, not animated features. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
So because they've had this bad movie slate this year and really the past couple years, they've hired Don Granger to take over the film division. And Don Granger has had a relationship with none other than our guy, our patron saint of cinema, Tom Cruise. He was responsible for getting Jack Reacher made because he owned the rights to the books by Lee Child. And he was the one who suggested Chris McQuarrie direct Jack Reacher, which was because Tom Cruise had been working with him in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, and McQuarrie came on to save that movie during its production issues. And that has then spawned the McQuarrie-Cruise relationship, which is, as of late, people are saying kind of flatlining because of their interactions, because he seems heavy on the Alejandro Garcia Inarritu train. But that's because their movie's actually coming out in 2026 compared to the movies that Cruise and McQuarrie have in the pipeline that have yet to have a home, which is what we're about to get into with the rest of these notes. But Don Granger's a legendary producer for Paramount, so it makes sense to put him in charge of the movie slate as a whole. And this is where their future movies gets into the real nitty gritty. So they're now accused of making films for the flyover states. And it seems like they're not interested in anything that isn't male driven or action. Like I said earlier, they have the audience with kids because of their IPs. They're always going to make kids movies because kids movies, Zootopia 2 just killed at the box office. They're always going to have a place for those type of movies because animation sells. The Bad Guys 2, I think, good for Universal.
Yeah.
Plus, Mario is going to come out next year and kill it for Universal again. So Paramount knows what they have in terms of the kid audience. Now they're worried about the adult audience or the teen audience. Like, what type of movies are we going to have that are going to make people come in to the theaters and see our movies? So that they're thinking men. They're thinking Home Improvement, men. Like,
well, men like me are going to see Super Mario Galaxy.
Well, that's the interesting part because, as I briefly discussed a couple episodes ago, they finally have a writer and director attached for the Call of Duty movie to finally be put into works. Taylor Sheridan is writing the Call of Duty movie along with Pete Berg, who did Hancock, Patriots Day, all Friday Night Lights, all that Americana bullshit with the fucking shaky cam that he does.
I'm cool.
And that's why I'm not as confident in that movie being a success because I think Pete Berg's an average director. The guy they had prior was Stefano Sollima, who did the second Sicario movie, and he did the Without Remorse movie with Michael B. Jordan that I liked, even though it wasn't great. It was good for what it was.
Yeah.
And he wrote, and Taylor Sheridan was a co-writer of that movie, and that's where it kind of boils down. I'm pretty sure that was a Paramount movie, much like Coming to America was, that then they sold to Amazon during the pandemic to recoup some funds because they knew those movies weren't going to be able to make money in the post-COVID box office. So they took the easy checks of feeding Paramount's streaming service while getting something in return. They also have the James Mangold movie with Timothée Chalamet about Mortar Cross. It's also described as a heist movie, but it's $100 million budget, and Timothée Chalamet is getting $25 million of that. His highest role as of yet. Yeah.
Damn, they on his meat to give him some money like that.
And James Mangold just signed a deal with Paramount to produce movies in the future, which is weird because what the fuck is going to happen to, one, his Star Wars movie, and two, his Swamp Thing movie? I know what's going to happen. They're not going to fucking get made. That's what's going to happen because Kathleen Kennedy is a dipshit. And given the Warner Brothers merger with Netflix at the helm, James Gunn is a fucking idiot. Damn. These people put people in charge who they know don't want to make their fucking movies.
Right. Well, that's how it's always been. It's like, yeah, I got you. I mean, that's any job. Once again, like, hey, I got you, dog. I'm going to get you a job.
And now Paramount's all worried about commerciality with the projects that they'll be putting in theaters, what's going to be marketable, like I just said, especially to their audience. So what happened with the Running Man was $20 million of its marketing budget was slashed. They're not attributing that as to why it bombed. I think that movie just bombed because it's a hard movie to sell, but not just because it's a remake of an Arnold movie, and you can't really sell it as a Stephen King movie because it's the books that Stephen King wrote under his alias when he was trying to do stuff that wasn't hard horror and creepy stuff when you're trying to like get these different ideas out. And it's not really even Glenn Powell being a failed movie star. Twisters did okay, and that was more so about people being into the idea of another Twisters movie. But this doesn't help Glenn Powell being the star of the future since this movie didn't do so well. But like I told you, when I saw Simon Kingberg was a producer, I should have known that this movie was going to be a disaster.
Yeah, I forgot it came out.
It's an okay movie. You can definitely tell I don't think it was ruined in post-production. I just feel like Edgar Wright made it to get out of Hollywood jail, given that his last two movies, his movie prior to this was kind of a bomb. That Last Night in Soho, that movie was kind of a bomb, and it was kind of expensive to make. But before that, he had Baby Driver, which was a huge success. But the karma of that movie is Kevin Spacey and Ansel Elgort. So it seemed like he had to be punished with back-to-back bombs.
And it ain't my fault because this dude's a freak bull.
No, but it's movie karma. Instead of movie jail, it was movie karma.
Like, I can't do nothing about Kevin Spacey. Nasty ass.
So like I said, since they're all about commerciality and male-centered films, a lot of feminine films have been scrapped. So a lot of movies about women, teen girls, romantic movies have been shelved. Also, there's been a movie about Area 51 that director Colin Trevorrow was going to make. He was the guy who did the Jurassic reboot movies. they canceled his movie, which is good because he's a hack. So we don't need any more movies from him.
That, and we can just make another X-Files.
Well, not just that. Steven Spielberg is going back to the Area 51 well next year because he has that movie about the UFO coming
Supposed to
out.
count as a third kind too.
But he's basically going to be redoing his own movies redoing movies because he's too scared to, I don't know, make anything controversial or that's a whole another topic in itself. Is
when Schindler's List 2 coming out? Go ahead, Davis.
In this climate, you want to make that type of joke? I don't.
Hey, I mean,
you're gonna have to be apologizing like Nick Cannon had to apologize. All right.
Okay, Color Purple too. There we go.
They remade Color Purple last year.
No, that was 1.5. I need 2.
And here's
Harpo's Revenge.
Here's where the interesting part of the movies that they have ready for next year. So there's the Trey Parker, Matt Stone, aka the creators of South Park. Their movie with Kendrick Lamar.
No. Shelve it, please. This shit was shot like a year or 2 ago.
It was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
It was pushed back because Dave Free wanted reshoots. Not just any type of reshoots, major reshoots. And
so that means the movie didn't really get made.
Well, that's apparently Kendrick, Trey, and Matt have full creative control. They have Hulk Hogan in 2000 control of all of it. So
okay, so they Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan.
No. Paramount's Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo, where you can't do a damn thing about what this movie is going to say or be about. Because the only way people can read the script is by going to the South Park offices to read it.
In Colorado?
Yeah.
Man, this shit, they act like they're making a revolutionary movie. Man, stop it. I know people that worked on that movie.
Don't forget, they signed the deal to extend with Paramount and do future seasons of South Park with Paramount instead of going somewhere else, especially for their other creative projects, because even though they really haven't had as much output as they did in the previous decade, like when they did Team America, Book of Mormon, and one other thing that they were doing, it seems like they know they can only go so far with South Park, even though it's still a success and a merchandise mover, which is what they care about.
Didn't they just cancel it?
No, that's the point. They extended the seasons. The day after extending the seasons is when they made fun of Trump in the first episode. And that was days after Jon Stewart and The Daily Show took the shots at Trump. Because it was days after that. I mean, days before that was the Stephen Colbert firing news. Well, not firing, not renewing of his contract news, which is everything's a domino effect. Just going in circles. And we're not even at the center of it yet. But Kendrick Lamar having full control of this slave satire is hilarious because everyone's speculating that Paramount's going to put it out, not advertise it, in hopes that no one goes to see it. And it just dies on its own. Because the movie is at the moment titled Whitney Springs. And Whitney, I'm like, oh my God, this fucking guy, Whitney. Like,
yeah, I think I know how he's trying to do.
I get the clever wordplay all the time. I get it. Yeah. I get it.
No, I'm with you. We right here. Hey man, Iceman.
I'm not talking about his abilities, or I'm just saying after a while, you and Dot talk about like everything with him already doesn't have to be what's Inception, like a layer within a layer within a layer. But like, come on.
Yeah, I'm from the old school, y'all. My lyrics is just rapped, and that was it.
But not much else is known about it, with the exception of the previous announcement, which is a slave.
It ain't gonna do well.
I mean, of course not. It's an original comedy in the 2020s.
And then again, I know people that worked on the production. They said they did not have fun at all.
I wouldn't have fun if Dave Free was asking to do major reshoots.
Yeah, and then they also said,
"What's he know about producing movies?"
I like Lady Gaga. What do you know about producing movies? Bro, legit, they said even the people I know that worked on it, they said they have no clue what's going on. They didn't know what was being shot.
But here's the thing: at the end of the day, you can't doubt the guys who made Bigger, Longer, Uncut, and who made Team America. At the end of the day, they're still two of the most genius writers in comedy.
I won't be watching it, but cool. I can put that on February 1st, 14th. I don't give a fuck. 31st. I ain't watching it.
And the other parts of this, so since Paramount is looking to reboot things, they've actually lost some creators, and that's what you said. Like, are the creators going to benefit from most? Because that's the name of the game these days. It's not the actors; it's the people in charge of the projects. Yeah. So Taylor Sheridan, this was news that was earlier in the year. Taylor Sheridan, the guy responsible for the Yellowstone franchise and all its spinoffs, and then the Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown, Lioness, all the shows that run Paramount Plus. He left Paramount to go to NBC Universal for basically a deal that could be worth $1 billion. And it's due to his output. So however many projects he wants to make and the output of when they are released. And it seems like he left Paramount because they weren't willing to make certain projects into movies. And he, I think, wants to get back into feature writing. He did Sicario. He was a writer for both Sicario movies. He was a writer for Hell or High Water. And he wrote, like I said, he co-wrote the Michael B. Jordan Without Remorse. And so that means he probably potentially would have wrote the Rainbow Six movie that movie teased at the end that Chad Stahelski is attached to direct. Yeah. Which he would probably do post this Highlander movie that's being made. But yeah, he ditched Paramount after he made the executives flew to his ranch, which is the $300 million ranch that he bought in 2021. The 4-6's ranch in Texas, which is the biggest ranch in Texas, and I think all of America. And he bought that with the Yellowstone money, which they're kind of glad, I think, to get rid of Taylor Sheridan, even though he runs their app, because all his and Landman, that's the other show he has, dominate Paramount Plus. He makes all the shows film at his ranch, and he makes Paramount pay him to film at his ranch.
Hey, so he's got shit.
And this is why whenever you say all this stuff about like one day you're making, I'm like, you probably can't, because this guy was a series regular on the first 2 seasons of Sons of Anarchy. They killed his character, and then he became the biggest writer in television of the last 7 years. So like, and he in his late 40s, early 50s. So that's
just a play, bro.
Yeah.
My fault. What you about to say?
No, I'm saying you can make it at any point in life. Like this guy, this guy.
It's your hustle, getting in the right rooms, really in the film business, right or wrong rooms, and that's all it is. It's more so just the hustle. And the hustle gonna take you forever. That's everything in life. If you microwave your food, it's gonna be fast, but it might not be hot all the way, and it's definitely not gonna be good. Sometimes you gotta oven your life. Put that bitch in there, let it cook overnight.
So there's also things being said that apparently Taylor Sheridan and David Ellison weren't seeing eye to eye, and it seemed like Ellison had no problem letting him go to the point he saw Sheridan being too powerful at Paramount and didn't want to bend the knee to the creator while he's being the guy owning the company. So there's that dynamic of play, which is like in sport teams where you're bigger than the team. That's not a good thing. Mm-hmm. So, and maybe they also want to have to pay him all this money, not only just to keep him on staff, but also like, we got to pay you how much to film, how much to do this. And like I said, all his shows run the app. So Paramount's probably willing to take that loss of Paramount Plus dipping if he abandons his shows in the future. I don't know if he'll be able to do what Ryan Murphy was able to do, which is still produce shows, even though he signed a new deal with a new company. Because like when he left Fox after it got bought by Disney to go to Netflix, Fox was still willing to produce a lot of his American Horror Story shows and whatever other shows that Netflix, I think, was either going to pass on or just not make. But like I said, this deal is worth up to $1 billion depending on his output, and he can start making movies for NBC Universal at the start of next year in the first quarter. And that seems what his desire is, because he sold a script that he wanted to be made at Paramount to Warner Brothers, because Paramount didn't want to make it, called Fast. And it's a Sicario, Hell or High Wire type of movie about a vet coming back to the States and being an undercover agent to take down a drug ring. And that movie's called Fast. So
I like that idea.
That's how he's good at blending, because people have accused him about maybe being right wing. Again, saying that fast always fucks me up, because by him being so masculine and cowboy culture and old fashioned, he's actually very like, the point of Yellowstone is the Native Americans are in the right. You know, this was our land; it was taken from us, and he shines a light on the underprivileged in certain aspects. So he doesn't really give the vibe of being MAGA as much as he maybe is a vibe of like, yeah, the old school had its good moments, but also its bad moments. I think he's combining John Wayne and like a softer side of modern masculinity.
Yeah.
But also with his style of realism and like this is stuff you see in the news of like the drug war in Mexico and Sicario, or Hell or High Waters about two brothers dropping banks because the bank foreclosure on their farm, and you know the idea of, like I said, the underprivileged in America. He's really good at doing that. But because he left, that's allowed NBC to snag two people within the last year. Recently, it was just John Chu, who did the Wicked movies for Universal. This seems like it's a bad deal because I think John Chu isn't a good director. I've only really seen one or two of his movies, and one of those is the G.I. Joe sequel that sucked with The Rock.
Hey, I like that. It was like
that movie's terrible.
Him and his interaction with D-Ray The Rock.
And he started making those Justin Bieber concert movies. He did the Never Say Never, and he did the other one. And then he started doing this. Go ahead.
Oh, he got some chili. He did that. Then he did the Wicked movie. He got some chili. Bro.
He did that. He did Crazy Rich Asians. He did.
Oh, that was him?
Yep. That's me. He's had a somewhat successful career.
Yeah. No, he got some paper.
I think his best days are behind him. I think this is about, much like how Paramount views Sheridan, like he won't be able to sustain the output of shows he was doing if he's so fixated on owning a $300 million ranch, a restaurant in Vegas, this and all that. And like everything in popular culture, like it has its turn. Like, are his Westerns going to die out? His new Westerns going to die out because are we going to get tired of the new Western craze? I think John Chu's style of musical, you know, the musical being the real sleeper hit of movies, because he also did In the Heights, but that was a box office flop for Warner Brothers because it was in that COVID day in release with HBO Max era. But there was also talks of that movie also had all the drama about the not casting Latinos, or not sorry, black Latinos, I think is what it was.
Yeah, no Afro Latinos.
Color shaming the Afro Latino. Yeah, so which isn't his fault as much as probably it's the studio's fault, and that probably goes to the Lin-Manuel Miranda of it all. And his post Hamilton career has been a dud as well, because when you lock people up at the height of their success, like you always say, it's hard to wake up when you got silk sheets. Try and be motivated when you've already had your billions.
Yeah. But trust me, if we had billions, I'll be doing this pod. But I'm like, hey, it's gonna be 30 minutes.
John Chu's deal is 3 years. It's gonna be movies and TV, and it starts in January of 2026. And this next deal that Paramount signed, I think, is even worse because they snagged the Duffer Bros from Netflix. The Duffer Brothers are the creators of Stranger Things, and these guys won't ever have a fucking hit for the rest of their lives.
No, because that was it after Stranger Things.
They haven't been able to create anything in the interim. When you create one mega show, you're able to David E. Kelly did Boston Legal. The Practice, Boston Legal, all these other shows, Ally McBeal, all these other shows in the same, Shonda Rhimes, Grey's Anatomy, Private Practice, all the, like, Ryan Murphy, Glee, American Horror Story. Like, you can create multiple shows. Like I just meant the aforementioned Taylor Sheridan, but the Duffer Brothers like, no, we got to make our shit more Spielberg-y, Stephen King knockoff. Every time I see a clip on Stranger Things on Twitter, it's the worst fucking show I've ever seen a clip of. I can't believe people watch this shit.
Wait, say it again?
Stranger Things? It's the worst fucking show I've ever seen.
No, see, well, you just always like to be disrespectful, but you got it. What's terrible about Stranger Things?
It's not to call it great value, King and Spielberg and that 80s Amblin core. It's not even great value. This is Family Dollar value. It's so cheaply made. This is Temu value.
When was it cheap? It was cheaply made even when they started in 2017.
It's cheaply made now. And
that's because they've been shooting that shit for 3 years.
They are the masters of the fucking bullshit tease. Like the clip I saw, Steve is getting a pickaxe and he throws it down because he sees something on a wall. And it's a chainsaw. And when we think of 80s movies and chainsaws, we think of Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness.
Texas.
And he is, he's going to use a chainsaw to cut the demons' ass. No, he uses the chainsaw to cut the floor. Dun, 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 dun. Like, they are the masters of like the bullshit tease of like, yeah, oh.
Well, it's harkening back to the 80s when they used to cut teaser trailers like that for horrors.
No, it's easy because it's the easiest genre to make a fucking movie in. The 80s
For
and 90s.
sci-fi? It's sci-fi?
Yes. It's way easier to make a movie about the 80s and the 90s in the modern day compared to making a movie in any other decade or century.
But this is more, you would think, okay, so a small town where they at, right? You would think something like this in the 80s will be more prominent compared to what they would make it now, because half these fucking people don't have a brain and they'll just put everything on TikTok anyway. I see Ellie right there. I don't know why I sound like Sly Stallone. I see Ellie. Let me put it on TikTok. That's all. I just see these dumbass people on their cell phone all day. So in the 80s, you had no choice but to be like, damn, this motherfucker coming out the sky, or these goddamn flowers going crazy.
It's garbage. It's pure garbage.
I don't know why you feel that way, but that's your opinion.
Kids can't act. They can't.
They're not supposed to be acting like, dude. What you want? Fucking Emmy nominated acting?
No, that's why I hate shows about kids, because kids are bad actors.
Look what you hate shows about. Damn.
But they've signed this deal to make movies and shows for Paramount starting in April of 2026, and that's because Sydney Holland, who had given them their big break at Netflix, is now working for Paramount.
You see what's going on? You see what you've been talking about for like 30 minutes or so? Everybody, no, you said it. Everybody is just like, shit, I'm about to go on the other side, like ahead of time.
And here's where we get into with the Tom Cruise of it all. Because don't forget, in 2024 of last January, 2024, Tom Cruise announced he was leaving Paramount to go to Warner Brothers. And here's why it might be the reason for that. So this was, I think, from a different Hollywood Reporter article. According to two sources, this might be from the same one because there were two different ones to take. According to two sources, Cruise grew unhappy with Ellison not long after Brian Robbins, who was running Paramount's, I think, entire movie and TV slate. And Brian Robbins famously or infamously made a lot of our youth. He was part of Tolan Robbins, which you would always see at the end of all that, or a lot of Nickelodeon programming. And he produced a lot of Mike Tolan's sports movies that they made at Paramount, like Varsity Blues, Coach Carter, and Radio.
Why the fuck has it been Coach Carter conversation for 24 hours now?
And Brian Robbins took over. And Brian Robbins, I think, himself directed Meet Dave, to go back to our Eddie Murphy episode a few weeks ago. So they took a guy who actually made, and Brian Robbins famously directed Ready to Rumble.
Classic. Jimmy King is the best wrestler.
I will rule you. So they took a guy who was an actor, because he was in the show Head of the Class with Robin Givens, who then worked his way up to be a writer, who then worked up his way to be a filmmaker, who worked his way up to be a producer, into a studio head. I think he's basically shit canned with the David Ellison era. Yeah. So with Brian Robbins gone, Cruise needed tens of millions of dollars for the last two Mission Impossible movies. So this would be Dead Reckoning and then The Final Reckoning. Ellison suggested that Cruise find some of the money on his own. You don't tell Tom Cruise, I ain't got it.
Right. I'll be on, got it, but it ain't from
then on, multiple sources say Cruise wouldn't attend any production or marketing meeting if Ellison was there.
Yeah. Motherfucker trying to hold me.
Still, the Robbins regime ultimately caved to Cruise's demands, coughing up more dough. Sources close to Skydance dispute that there was any such rift. But Cruise is eager to get Top Gun 3 off the ground. He's also seeking a home for his deep sea disaster adventure that reportedly sports a budget north of $200 million. Warner Brothers and Cruise have a deal, and Universal have passed. Sources confirm that Cruise recently went to Paramount to pay his respects to the new leadership. Tom Cruise is like, I gotta go. I gotta go back.
Right. Yeah. I was just tripping, man.
It's the George Costanza, like, you thought I was serious? No. That was a joke. Come on.
All right, man. You know I fuck with y'all.
to pay his respects to the new leadership, which would seem to mean he is no longer at odds with Ellison. And if Ellison gets his way and buys Warner Brothers, a history-changing moment for Hollywood. Cruise won't only be having the only one to be having acquiesced to the new cultural order. Tom Cruise went to one studio. They said, hang on. Hey, we're so happy to have you here. We're going to make a movie with you right away. This movie, Judy, that's going to come out next year with Alejandro Inarritu. Flash forward to now. Hey, man, you know those guys you just left? They might be buying us. So we're not going to make the next movie you want to make, which is this submarine movie that once was from a Max Landis script, which has now been rewritten. This was a movie that was allegedly supposed to have Ana de Armas as his co-star, which prompted the brief moments between the two of them. And yeah, Top Gun 3 is still a priority, even though we don't need Top Gun 3.
We don't, but now it's like, all right, that made us a deal. Let's try.
But he went to one studio being like, you guys are going to make my movies, right? And they're like, fuck yeah, you're Tom Cruise, man.
Right.
What do you want to make? I got this. Oh, this submarine movie. All right. I've actually read the original script to this movie, which is called Deeper. It was originally called Deeper. And at the time, it was supposed to have Bradley Cooper or Idris Elba attached. It's it's kind of like, did you ever see the movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds or the movie Lock with Tom Hardy? Basically one of those movies where a guy acts by himself and talks to someone on the phone.
What's the movie that I think that was James Franco or Dave Franco when he was stuck in the canyon?
Oh, 127 hours. James Franco was, yeah.
Yeah, he's stuck in the canyon. He had to take his leg off.
Much more like the Tom Hardy movie Lock, where he's the whole time in the movie, he's driving and on phone calls. This movie, if I remember correctly, it's a failed astronaut getting his chance at redemption by volunteering for a deep sea exploration mission. And as he goes further, like he starts hearing ghosts, or is it all in his head type movies?
That's like my life.
Basically, but he wants to make that for $200 million. And
you don't need to make that for $200 million.
A little too rich for our blood here, Tommy. You know, it's
yeah, $200 million for that. Come on, bro.
Well, because he's like, we're gonna go into the water. We're actually gonna go into the water, not some tank, not some swimming pool. I think that's what he's trying to say, because
you're right, but I'm like, hell.
When you watch how they made the fucking excellent submarine sequence in Final Reckoning, they did it in a tank. So Tom Cruise is like, that's just one scene. This is the whole movie. And then they're probably like, James Cameron's in a studio with plastic on the ground doing it. I mean, he's still doing it for $200 million, but they're like, but he's not having us, drive 40 gallons worth of water tanks into the fucking building.
Yeah, like, hell no, bro. And then, people might get, I don't know what's the term if you don't like being submerged underwater, but I think everybody's scared of that.
Oh, I have to go back to the Sheridan break. So here's why other people are leaving. Someone else is leaving Paramount. From Sheridan's perspective, the partnership was rocky even before the merger. The writer, producer, director had been frustrated with Paramount's film division because they rejected a script for his feature titled Capture the Flag. And Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav courted Sheridan this past year by offering just to make his thriller Fast. Paramount initially wanted a 50-50 split. That's why. And Sheridan's was like, you're not getting 50-50 for my most. That's what I said. Back to him feeling like David Ellison feeling like Taylor Sheridan's going to run our studio, even though it's my studio. Like, that's not going to fly. But the Tom Cruise of it all is, like, this guy is, unfortunately, I think he knows he's becoming more of a relic. They gave him this honorary Oscar. So now in his mind, he really is in that last season of the Buccaneers Tom Brady era of like, oh shit, the end is near. And he's having a hard time dealing with that.
Right. I mean,
and it didn't help. Like I just said in that article, Paramount didn't make money with The Final Reckoning. It wasn't. No, I think it made its budget, but it wasn't a box office success.
Like everybody thought it would be.
Yeah.
Considering it's the final, so.
Mm-hmm. Or we'll see.
Yeah, knowing him, hey, we're going to run this back.
Knowing them, if Paramount's like, hey, we need more action movies, more male-driven macho movies, it's never goodbye. People want to retire all the time.
Hey, man, but Vin gone, bro. Yeah, the whole fucking show.
Oh, there were other, and here's some other people that Paramount has deals with at the moment: John Krasinski, Ryan Reynolds, which is like okay,
Yeah.
John Krasinski makes the Quiet Place movies for them, and then he had that movie If about the imaginary friends that bombed. Ryan Reynolds, I mean, his time is up because he cares more about his other ventures, and if it's not Deadpool, it's not going to work.
Which I understand. He got Mint Mobile and some other stuff.
Yeah, and then they also have a big deal with Damien Chazelle, the guy who did La La Land, First Man, Whiplash. But unfortunately, his last movie with Paramount, Babylon, was a huge bomb. I think it only made like 20 or 30 million, considering its budget was well over 100.
Yeah.
And that was the Brad Pitt movie about 1930s Hollywood. So that goes from Paramount. I mean, at the end of the day, Paramount's not the right place to own Warner Brothers because they're just going to turn it into Fox Paramount. I mean, you know, like that's what it's going to be. Oh, I have heard about that. It's with the two guys from It's the Real. Yeah.
That's the name of their podcast?
The guys who are the two... I almost said it.
The two culture vultures?
Yeah, basically. Again, like I said, you can't be a white guy talking about hip-hop, no matter where you're from.
Hey, realest thing you said a lot of real things, but this up there.
Just because it's one of those things where you force yourself into the conversation, where it's that thing like Dan Cook said about when white people try to appease black people, you can't even appreciate what we have to go through. Okay, like no, I understand. No, you can't even understand. Okay, like
Dan Cook, one of the greatest of all time.
That it semi leads to our next topic in terms of the Batman, because at the end of the day, Warner Brothers has all these things in the pipeline. All these movies, all these shows. They have a big slate with Game of Thrones IP, House of the Dragon, the spinoff about Night of the Seven Kingdoms. They have Dune 3, the Harry Potter TV show, and James Gunn's DC universe, which the Supergirl trailer just dropped today. I didn't watch it. I have no interest. I have no interest in that movie. I have no interest in the movie.
That's going to be on my list.
I have no interest in anything James Gunn DCU until he shuts the fuck up for a day.
Yeah, he's another way, dude. He was like, yeah, I like hip hop. I like ASAP Rock. I'm like, bro, who the fuck listen to him except for people that don't watch their ass? Not ASAP Rocky, ASAP Rock. AESOP, I think.
But I think everything Warner Brothers has.
Damn, dog, you need to eat.
Oh, my bad. I was eating before we got on air. I told you I had to scarf down that chicken.
You need to get you a bowl of cereal or something, my boy.
Everything that Warner Brothers has in the pipeline, I don't think is in danger of being canceled, because this merger is going to take months and months to go through, if it goes through, because David Ellison is actually trying to put more money into stopping the merger than it's trying to take to buy Paramount itself. So that's why I really didn't spend too much time talking about what his efforts in that aspect. So, and again, if you're an AEW fan, don't worry about, oh my God, they're going to kill AEW. They're going to kill AEW. They're going to kill AEW, because WWE's deal with Netflix. If anything, Netflix would be smart to have both wrestling audiences in the palm of their hands and keep AEW alive, instead of turning wrestling to a full-on monopoly that no one wants to support, like it was from 2002 until 2019. I'm not saying TNA didn't count. We all love TNA as the alternative, but it wasn't a money-making enterprise like AEW is in comparison. And AEW has its own money to fund itself way more successfully than TNA could, despite Panda Energy and Dixie Carter and all that.
Yeah, no, the AEW is safe, people. I know the whole they're gonna get bought out because the Netflix deal with WWE, and then they're gonna have to go.
It's to, still an option, but it's not gonna happen right away.
It's
like
gonna
how it
take
happened.
a minute.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen like how it did back in the day with AOL Time Warner, and them killing it as soon as the merger went through, because they didn't want wrestling on their programming.
And also, I think they got like a 3-year deal left anyway. 3 or 4.
And I don't think AEW is a lost leader for Warner Brothers like WCW was at that time, where it was bleeding hundreds of millions of dollars, whereas AEW, like I said, is more self-sufficient, given Tony Khan has the pockets to keep, stop the boat from leaking.
Right. But no, the Batman 2 is they bread and butter. Every time some news drop, everybody be going crazy. Of course, I'm looking forward to it because Batman is my guy. Not Batiman, Batman. But at the same time, it's just, it's taking 5 years for the movie to come out. They finally about to start shooting in a couple of months. That's a $1 billion franchise right there, as far as the movie. That's the one that's gonna get them $1 billion, even when they get bought out. I mean,
don't forget the Batman only made 750.
oh, this one
So,
gonna beat that.
Potentially. Sequels normally are supposed to do better, which is but famously the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a sequel that didn't make money like they thought it would, and that killed the franchise that they had planned for Andrew Garfield and the spinoffs with that particular set of characters. So the big news about this, and it dropped last week, but I'm glad we didn't record because when that news dropped a day or two later, the second half of the news, which is related to it. So Scarlett Johansson is rumored to be playing a character in the Batman 2. And you had said it best, like her agent is working overtime to get her the bag from project to project, especially post MCU, because don't forget, she was the one taking Disney to court with the Black Widow release of like, hey, I'm owed points on the box office. If you're selling this movie at home, how am I going to get points? Like, make that make sense. So she was the one willing to take Disney to court over their in-home release strategy when they felt like the Black Widow wasn't going to be a box office success, which unfortunately for her, it wasn't. And now she's in her chasing the bag era. I get that they're trying to maybe remake Mask of the Phantasm. I haven't seen it since I was probably 6 years old, 5 or 6.
In. Go ahead, rewatch that.
There was a good tweet I saw where it took Matt Reeves that long to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to remake the Mask of the Phantasm. Like, it took you 3 years to be like, shit, what's my next idea?
That's what happened. You know what's crazy? I think that's actually what happened. He's like, damn, ain't nobody did this before. They did it on, obviously, animation.
They did it before in 1996. Like, that's when
But then he was like, I can make that live action. And then, it kind of could work, or it can work, obviously, because Shorty ass left. Now they saying that she ain't coming back, so now he needs somebody else to simp after.
Let's not act like she left. The movie ends with her going off into not the sunset, but off into the sunset. That because it kind of is supposed to be like the way that relationship is. If they ever make a third or fourth one, that's the point to bring her back. There's no point bringing her back right away in the second one. Right. That defeats the purpose of that ending.
I think you was right that this movie wouldn't come out. Obviously, it is now, but the third one,
that's still my best prediction of all time if it were to come true.
Yeah, no, but they said the third one, they said that probably ain't gonna happen as of now.
So again, they just said Scarlett Johansson might have a role in it. They're not specifying, and obviously the point of Mask of Phantasm is his love interest is the Phantasm herself. The bigger part of the story to me is that Emma Stone passed on this movie. So Scarlett Johansson scooped up her leftovers, and this reminded me at a time where it wasn't, it was all speculation, but when Jennifer Lawrence came out of her hiatus period in 2022 to 2020, or 2023 to 2024.
What was her big head ass hiding at?
She had a kid.
Okay. The kid got the same size head as her?
I have no idea. But I think she got married, had a kid, and wanted time away from the business. But if I remember correctly, one of the reports was she saw an actress basically kind of surpassing her so she felt like she needed to get back into shape, back into the game. I think that actress was Emma Stone because she won her second Oscar around that time. So Jennifer Lawrence only has one. Emma Stone has two. She has all these.
Is she about to run it? She about to run it up, being bald or something like that.
Well, that movie came out this year, but that's the thing. Emma Stone puts out these projects that necessarily don't make money, but get critical acclaim because she's still a great actress. She just isn't a box office draw. And she was, again, someone who took Disney to court when Cruella was released. They did the same thing of like, you can watch it at home or you can watch it in theaters, but you have to pay to watch at home. So they must have the same agent, her and Scarlett Johansson, of like, hey, our client gets the money either way. But for Emma Stone to have the confidence to pass on this and Scarlett Johansson having to be like the backup option, like I said, these women in Hollywood are chasing Emma Stone. If she feels like I can pass on a potential box office hit superhero movie willy-nilly because I'm two-time Oscar winner Emma Stone, the rest of these girls are shook. Like, what are we going to get then?
Right, because they said Scarlett Johansson said, first of all, they kind of gave it away. They was like, she's never played a bad guy before. And I'm like, there you go. Y'all done spoiled it already.
She's kind of a bad guy in The Spirit. She's a femme fatale, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but still, that's giving it away. If y'all want to keep this big old secret, like, who else is she going to be? Or any woman that was supposed to get cast in this role. What else? She going to be Vicky Vale? No.
Well, and she's from New York, and on SNL and in the movie Don John, she would do the New York accent. You know, she would be like, I know what you think about me. And Emma Stone does the New York accent too in a few projects. So it makes sense. They can kind of pull off the reddish hair look of I forget what the lead of what the character's name, who actually is Phantasm. I forget her name.
Same. And I just watched it. I just know Batman or Bruce was fucked up about it. That boy was going through it.
But given how Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne was with Selena Kyle, it makes much more sense. I had said that this Batman was into voyeurism, but Matt Reeves wants him to be simp man. Like,
and this is why this story is perfect.
I get women just to watch them walk away. Why? Because I got to save this city.
Maybe I'm Batman.
And we don't even have resolution with the Barry Keoghan Joker character. That's still on the back burner, which I would like to stay that way. If he would be a surprise reveal in this movie like he was at the end of the first Batman, that would be cool. And he's off being Ringo Starr in those 4 Beatles movies, which is going to be, you want to talk about box office bombs. Ooh, you setting money on fire over there.
You think that's not going to make any money?
Fuck no.
I think that John Lennon wanted to make some money. And Paul McCartney. And
I think they're doing it week by week. Yeah.
Not year by year. They're going to do week by week?
Yeah. It's one's this week, one's the next week, one's the week after that, and then I think it's supposed
to
be a whole month.
You really ain't gonna make no money.
No, that's the point. It's because
people gonna be confused. They're gonna be like, "Hey, give me the Beatles ticket. Which one?"
Yes. You know what that's called? Television. Go and make it over there. And this is Sam Mendes has had an identity crisis since he made Spectre, the last James Bond movie he directed with Spectre. And since then, he did that movie 1917, which I still haven't seen, the oneer about war. And he did that movie Empire of Light, which critics hated because it was an Oscar bait movie about movie theaters and the importance of the cinema, which we kind of skipped over. Netflix buying Warner Bros. Would kill movie theaters. Boy, oh boy, am I happy about that.
But you know what's crazy? We spoke on that 5 years ago.
This has been, you and I have fought this fight the whole time. One, because I hate people. I hate being in places where people exist.
Yeah.
2, like you said, I want to watch these movies at home when I have the time to watch them. I can't just go to a theater when I have, 2 hours to myself, because driving to the movie itself too, I'm losing the time I have in this window because people live lives. People work for a living. People have hobbies. People have interests. People have wives, girlfriends, daughters, sons, all of that, family. So giving me the movie at home, if it kills the theatrical experience, hey,
I'm with it.
If he dies, he dies.
Dude, I'm beyond with it because I barely go to the movies to begin with.
Because all that bullshit of you got to see a movie on the big screen with the popcorn in your hand, with the people around you. No, I hate the people around me. They talk during the fucking movie. I want to hear the movie in silence like it's a New Japan match so I can clap when I want to clap, but not hear nothing the rest of the time.
Or they on their fucking, everybody can't live
Why do you come to
cell phone?
Exactly. Why are you coming to the movies to be on your phone? Like, it doesn't make sense. So when people harken to like, oh my god, AMC and my local cinema, you ain't fucking go. You go to 3 movies a year. I go to multiple movies. I've been to 10 movies this year.
Yeah. No, legit. David's the only person I know still goes to the movie theater. Everybody else, like, I'm about to watch this camera.
So, yeah, like I said, movie theaters, put them in the dirt, piss on their grave, fuck them. All right,
Yeah,
and you only
I'm with that.
you have the most inconvenient show times and the most outrageous snack prices. You know what I have at my house? The foods and drink I want, and I can pause it, rewind it,
Thank you.
or start it again in the morning. Okay.
Again, in the words of Eve, Dad, why would I go spend money when I could watch it from home for free? Watch it at home for free.
I was almost gonna say that. That's Trucker Gamer, right? Our guy, Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was almost gonna say that. That Lucy was kind of salute Chloe, a villain in Lucy. She can. I mean, the way she plays Black Widow in Iron Man 2, like I said, it's femme fatale. She pulls off, which is the point of Phantasm. It's a femme fatale noir type of story that Batman's involved in. And given Matt Reeves wants him to be the Dark Knight detective more than the Dark Knight, it fits perfect. And I think someone else said like they could also take elements of Phantasm and elements of Court of Owls, which was the other story that was being long rumored to be the idea for the sequel.
Yeah,
So,
and they got to stop talking about that because he can't do that shit by himself. If anybody read the comics,
well,
he going against a whole army.
the way people talk about Matt Reeves, like he fucking created cinema, he better figure it out. Like,
No, that's hustling backwards. He ain't got no homie. He ain't got no Robin. He ain't got no Red Hood. He ain't got nobody. He can't do that shit by. He can't run the fade by himself with the Court of Owls.
he has the Riddler, which goes into our next topic. So you were actually on Tarantino's side for once when he said Paul Dano is the weakest actor in SAG. He's weak.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far though. He kind of tweaking. I said I get what he mean, but he going a little too far, dog. You can't just be saying it's a lot of motherfuckers that's trash. He straight out just said it. Look, my fault to cut you off, but I'll get the
I want you to
context.
go ahead.
So Tarantino said, for some reason, he came out left field with this one. I just said, God damn.
I'll tell you why. I'll let you go, but I'll tell you why.
Yeah, so he said, damn, Paul. He basically said Paul Dano was ass. It's basically like Cody Dre talking about Chris Paul. Like, bro, he's garbage. I'm like, dude, I know Paul Dano was like, why you say fuck me for? Like, he at the like Paul Dano look like he just look at feet all day and smell feet. I ain't say what type of person, but that's what he looked like. He just into. He just got one of those faces like,
Well,
because
that's
he's
why
too good of an actor.
The best tweet of all time is this definitely looks like a motherfucker who would ask you about a riddle. Like,
no, he definitely do. And then he just look at you and then be like, you don't know what it is. And I remember his scene in 12 Years a Slave, that song he was singing. So
I've never seen it.
don't watch it. But he got a
I don't
song.
I don't like slave movies.
I don't either, but unfortunately I had to live through it. No, Django ain't no slave movie. It is, but it ain't.
It is.
It's a love movie. But it is a slave movie. But it's still one of my favorite movies of all time, top 5.
Tupac plays as Jamie Foxx guns down racist rednecks. What can be better than that?
Right. He went full Arthur
Get it
Morgan
on, because I gotta get it on. Get it.
Django, we gonna shoot this bitch if you don't come out.
But
I don't give a goddamn.
So he calls Paul Dano's acting weak, specifically in There Will Be Blood. Is where he said this. The Paul Thomas Anderson movie starring Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm an oil man. This is my son, GW, or whatever his son's name was. I've only seen There Will Be Blood once. Good movie. But he was saying Paul Dano's acting is bad in it. Here's the thing about Paul Dano. He plays weak characters over and over and over. He never really plays someone in power or a badass. He always plays the creepy guys that, you know, if you threaten to slap them, they go, ah! Like that's Paul Dano's bread and butter. Yeah. Which is why the Seth Rogen show, The Studio, that came out this year, I think made fun of that in a way, because the first scene of The Studio, Paul Dano's in a John Wick type action scene directed by Pete Berg of all people. So kind of wanted to play at Paul Dano being in a role in this fictitious Hollywood that Seth Rogen is running in his world. But yeah, I don't think Paul Dano's a bad actor. I think at times his style seems very over the top, like it does in the interrogation scene in the Batman,
Yeah.
where I feel like it would be hard not to laugh on set that day with some of his choices with the no. I was almost laughing in the theater when he like had his fucking
Yeah.
white boy
supposed to
got
be
being
like this.
white boy being told there's no Tostinos or that the Mountain Dew was out.
But it worked though because it became a
Yeah.
meme because it's funny.
Well, and that's how that character would act, that incel, type of character. And I don't think Paul Dano's an incel himself. I think he's just able to tap into that look and that type of performance. So, but the bigger thing is Tarantino. We weirdly talked about Steven Spielberg a couple moments ago with remaking the same movies. Tarantino is scared to make another movie, flat out. Yeah. He hasn't admitted it, but the way he wrote the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel just to not direct it is cowardice. He gave the project to David Fincher to get made at Netflix because David Fincher is owned by Netflix the way Michael Jordan would have been owned by Moron Mountain in Space Jam. Like for eternity, and you'll lose.
Yeah.
That's David Fincher at Netflix. And Tarantino has talked about, I'll write television, I'll write plays, I'm writing books, all while living in the aforementioned Middle East, of all places, given his wife's ethnicity.
Wait, so he just packed up and moved to the Middle East?
Yep. Someone had a joke that what's going on over there, he might have to carry his VHS. No, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to. It's too. It was a good dark tweet.
So is he telling women to put their foot in the sand?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't wash your feet. Just put it in the sand, butter it up.
But I know he's in this, as you like to call, old man yells at the clouds era, because he went on this Tarantino fanboy podcast just to, one, shit on the host, and two, shit on the idea that he should be forced to make another movie. And that's where we're like, he's too scared of, because he was the one who put after my 10th film, I'm done. No one put that on him except himself. Because his whole idea is, his whole point is, I don't want to be washed. I don't want to be 60 and making bad movies like Alfred Hitchcock was. I don't want to be. He's saying Martin Scorsese hasn't had a good movie since the 2000s, which.
Oh, he hiding the motherfucker.
Exactly. And he was saying that Spielberg remaking West Side Story was one of the best movies he had made in a long time. And it's like.
I like Ready Player One.
Well, not just that. He did. What did he do in the 2000s? That was really good.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, exactly. Catch Me If You Can. And even the 20, I mean, I haven't seen Lincoln or War Horse.
I like Lincoln.
But this is the other point of this is like Tarantino has always kind of been a critic, a loudmouth. And this goes back to the Patrice O'Neal thing of, after a while, Tarantino was not becoming the hot young writer director. He was becoming the guy to tell you what a good movie is and what a bad movie is. And Tarantino will defend a lot of bad movies and shit on a lot of quote unquote good movies. And that's everyone's
He
point.
sounds like a hater. That's all I'm starting to get.
I think it is. So him saying Paul Dano is a bad actor, and if you watch some Tarantino movies, there are some bad performances in his movie, which is probably why the Academy's given him writing awards and not directing awards. He's won 2 screenplay awards and none for director. So maybe that's a hint at he doesn't get the best out of his actors or his visual style, even though I would never say it's his visual style. But he is, like I said, so caught up with how his legacy is supposed to be. But yet he sold this fucking Kill Bill hidden adventure story to Fortnite.
Yeah, the DLC.
Just to recoup on that. Because again, he was scared to make the Kill Bill prequel.
3.
That was supposed to be about Vernita Green's daughter coming to avenge her mother's death. At the end of the day, it's just, again, a guy who has always been loud and brash about his career, other people's career. It shouldn't be brand new that he said this about someone. He's said it for years. And the way people came to defend Paul Dano like he was a child, I thought was ridiculous. Like Matt Reeves had to say something. Mattson Tomlin, the writer for
He
the
looked
Batman
like a
2, had to
child.
say.
And then when
Like
Paul Dano find this news out 20 years from now, when he get it on his cell phone, his flip phone, he gonna be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
yeah, and ironically, he's married to Zoe Kazan, granddaughter of Elia Kazan, or no, Elia Kazan's her father. I think Lanny Kazan is her grandfather, or vice versa. Either way, she's from Hollywood royalty.
So he good. So I wouldn't be fucked up
Yeah,
about what Tarantino say. And then besides that, I could be like, bruh, if I want to talk about your catalog, you got some movies that's cool, and then you got some movies that's really good. And to be honest, you got 1 to 2 classics in
well,
my book. I don't really mess with Pulp Fiction like that, other than the scenes with fucking
Sam
Travolta
Jackson.
and Jackson.
Yeah,
That's the only scene. Some of them scenes where Bruce was fired, but then when he had to
not
go
the
get
scene, not all the scenes with the
yeah,
girlfriend. Again, that's what I mean. We're like this. We're Tarantino. Like again, like you want to talk about weak sauce? That French actress is weak sauce. I want the
yeah, but
blueberry pancakes.
he's a freak bull. Like we know what the casting move is.
Josh Hutcherson even was like said something about Tarantino borrow. Everyone borrows because that was a dig at Tarantino famously being a guy who just steals shit from
Yeah,
other movies, which
all the time.
is modern movie making as a whole, though. Too, when
I
you
wouldn't even
like,
say that. Modern movie making. I get what you mean, but I wouldn't even say that. These
I would say
motherfuckers just don't know
his
how to make a
from
movie.
his era, because
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Spike Lee, because Spike Lee again famously said he got the love hate from The Night of the Hunter, which I watched this year because Robert Mitchum's character has love tattooed on this hand and then hate, and this is the two of them fighting each other back and forth. And he does that and he said it himself, like, yeah, obviously that's an homage to a classic in Night of the Hunter. The way and Tarantino acknowledges his homages as well, but that's the thing. That 90s to 2000s class of directors were heavily influenced by all the cinema, Japanese, French, English that came before them, and they wanted to stitch it in their own original ideas. But when it comes to new original ideas, our last topic of the day, the go home, Men in Black 4.5 is what I'm calling it, because technically we had Men in Black 4 with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. Shout out to her. So legend.
She cool.
Her and Creed is just like a dream woman to me. Like,
Yeah, I don't, no disrespect, because I ain't to catch me out in the dog's bow wow, but you and Van be talking about her. I can't put her over, brother.
You're
Yeah.
To quote another Chris Hemsworth movie, you're an old man and a fool.
Yeah, I ain't going with dog. I mean, she from back home, but you know what I mean. I'm cool, bro. I ain't saying she bad, but I ain't saying she good.
Okay, well, you don't know shit. Okay, and
Yeah,
neither do the people running the Men in Black franchise, because they want to make another one. This was the movie that put F. Gary Gray in Hollywood jail, unfortunately, and I hate that for F. Gary Gray. He had 2 back-to-back hits with Stray Outta Compton and The Fate of the Furious. They gave him Men in Black International, is what they called it, with Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Liam Neeson, and Rebecca Ferguson. That bombed. It's a movie I've never seen. I probably will never see it. It looked bad in the trailer, and I wasn't shocked that Liam Neeson turned out to be the villain in it from the clip I saw years ago. I'm like, I could kind of
he
guess that
definitely
from.
was chasing Tessa Thompson.
There's like a scene in I watched the Naked Gun reboot a couple days ago. There's a scene
Why?
in there that it has some moments. It has a
Slow
crazy Dave
Saturday,
Batista
huh?
has a crazy Dave Batista cameo in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's I would say you should watch it. There are some good lines.
Cool. Busta Rhymes in it.
His scene is the weakest.
Because it's Busta Rhymes. It's just like his raps.
He's just sitting there. It's like you could have got anyone to play this character.
Did he put his stomach on the table?
No, but it has a bad pun about you got quite the rap sheet here. Like
Ain't
type
no
of
rap
joke.
sheet. Ain't no damn rap sheet. All it is humda ha, humda ha, humda.
It's not
That's
bad,
all it
bro.
is. Busta
It's
Rhymes
not bad.
rap.
I just the thing I had heard when it was released is that the 2 writers, they're Family Guy writers, they said it had trouble testing because most audiences these days have a hard time understanding satire, which is going to be interesting with the new Scary Movie. Because I'm like, actually, you shouldn't have a problem with satire. We've all been raised on these movies the last couple of decades, like the Scary Movies, Epic Movie, Date Movie, to understand jokes about purposely jokes of like, like this is bad on, not bad on purpose. This is tongue in cheek, is what I should say.
They not gonna get it because all these dweebs in this fucking world, they cell phone is going to, hey Siri, tell me if this movie is triggering to me. This isn't supposed to be funny. It's
My
a
anxiety.
my anxiety is up. I am what the fuck overstimulated because
Well,
the
not, but
ghost.
and what's this movie about? What's it trying to say? It's trying to make you laugh, you dumb fuck. Like that's what it's trying to do.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
that's
trying
the
to
problem.
say,
Motherfuckers don't want
yeah.
to laugh no more. Everybody want to be he man to them and they two fucking friends online.
And
Yeah,
Regina
Regina
Hall
Hall definitely in the
is
yeah.
coming
I'll be
back to
there
the new.
day one. Where Regina
um,
Hall could be in a goddamn Brad Pitt movie I'm gonna watch.
but is Will Smith coming back to Men in Black 4.5?
Yeah, he ain't got
This
shit else to do.
well, I just told you he has a deal with Paramount. He also has this movie with Michael Bay that might be in the works at Netflix, where he plays the DEA agent who isn't sure. Well, he plays a guy who isn't sure he's a DEA agent or a drug kingpin because his memory's been erased, and he's living both lives. Oh, my stomach! Damn, I gotta eat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, before we go home, one time I gotta get that drop too. Who gives a fuck?
Well, oh God.
Go ahead.
The first Men in Black, a classic.
Why
A
he keep
classic.
doing all these CTE type? Even though he did a CTE movie, why he keep doing all these erase my mind movies? Gemini and
Oh,
there's
I'm
two of
like,
me. I'm about to get in my conspiracy theory
oh,
bag. Will
well, because there's two Wills.
it might be three? It's Willa. His
Oh, come
alternate ego with
on.
Dwayne Martin.
I knew you
Is
were gonna go
big.
there.
Is the Fresh Prince, and then it's Will Smith and Jay that hate all them motherfuckers. When he
I
played
hate
Pac, that's when she
I
gonna
hate
love
that
him.
bitch too, is what I would say if I was him.
I mean, bro, never mind. I can't
With
say the
your
jokes I
plastic
really want to say.
face.
I can't say the joke. Fuck it. I'll say I give y'all the PG-13 joke. And that big ass house, I'm just gonna grab the top of her head. That's all I'm gonna do. And that big ass house, just come here. Bitch. We about to go to the hoop court right now.
All right, all right, all
Don't she
right.
look like Muggsy Bowles?
I'd say he looks better.
And they from the same area, ironically. So
I never thought she was that attractive. I watched a Low Down Dirty Shame this year finally.
she look
Yeah,
good in that.
she looks good in that. I think that's the only time she's ever looked good to me.
No, she was decent. It set it off.
No.
I'm in the bind, mate.
I think Vivica Fox is way better looking than her.
Hey man, something going on with Davis, bro. Hey,
What? I'm serious.
no, you right, but something going on, bro. I got a lot of questions to ask Big Mike. Bro. Something going
About
on,
my
bro.
taste in women?
Yeah, cause you come on, bro. I'll be like, hmm. That's
Tangent.
a
All right, that'll be a future tangent. Let me
yeah, you know, hey, Doc, write it down, bro.
which women do I think
Yeah,
are
cause he said
supplying?
Vivica Fox. I'm like, yeah, bro. Hold on, bro.
But
You go the other way that the white
well,
boys say when it comes to black women.
that's the other thing. Well, I like both. Again, what did Tommy Dreamer say? I'm hard. I'll take both. I'm hardcore.
Hey, fucking yo.
When he had Beulah and Kawhi Wanalea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chucker. Yeah, I'll take her there.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, hey man, listen. Settle line and plastic go together.
But
Say you like, both.
that I Am Legend sequel that's rumored to have Michael B. Jordan
You cut that
in
shit.
it. Yeah, that's unnecessary. Michael B. Jordan himself is, I think he's finishing the Thomas Crown reboot he's directing and starring in. And
Then
then
they
there's
about to do Creed 4.
Creed 4. And then there's the Creed TV show about the boxing, the Delphi Academy show that they're trying to get on Amazon with Wood Harris. Remember that's what it's called? The Delphi boxing gym?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They trying to have like young prospects or something.
Yeah.
Okay, they need to have Adrian Brunner as the drunk outside of the club. Remind the kids this was gonna happen if you spend your money.
what else is so Michael Jordan's got some projects. Obviously, there's no need for Sinners 2. When we get to the end of the year movie review, we'll talk about that with Sinners.
I don't think it's a need, but I don't think people would mind if
I
they
don't want
made
to
a
watch
sequel.
him being drug kingpin in 1980s New York as a vampire. I don't want to watch.
I think
That's
it'll
not.
work. I think it's Chicago because you got to think about gangster rap. You can make it work in gangster rap.
Oh yeah, he's in Chicago, not New York. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
At
you
the
can
end
make it work with the gangs and the drugs and all that. You actually can make that's
with
actually
the
a pretty good story.
what were they called on the show? The East Side Crew. Brr-ka-ka, brr-ka-ka.
Oh,
Earl the Snake White.
on Larry, you can make that.
But yeah, Men in Black 4, it's a hard pass for me. The second one has its moments. The third one made me cry at the end. It almost made me cry.
Hey, Slick.
I don't. Well, I mean, he erases his memory as a kid, and it's like he's known him at a different point in life. It's just almost like Tenet in a way. So maybe Chris Nolan just rips off his movies too, like.
Maybe.
But yeah, it was one of those things where it teared up when he erased young Jay's mind, and I'm like, it was things where I'm like, trying not to like tear up. I'm like, oh my god,
Is that what you was doing to yourself?
No, but I'm like, it's Men in Black 3. What's wrong with me? It's not like it's, Schindler, like you said, Schindler's List or The Color Purple. Like, what's,
General Hospital.
Oh, I would laugh during General Hospital. Like, come on, this show, just the way it's filmed makes me laugh.
Bruh, my grandma used to be fucked up about that stuff.
That soap opera style is always hilarious to me, how it's shot.
Dude's still working, Sonny. He been working for 30 years now.
Hey, when you got a job, you don't give it up.
And you only shoot 3 hours a day, so.
Yeah. For the whole week.
Yeah. So that's some pretty good money. I'd never leave.
And that's why I feel like it was easier for movies to recast. This will be our parting shot. Like, if movies could recast as easily as soaps would, like today, the role of blank blank will be played by so and so. Like soap operas do it. Like, hey, it was a different guy yesterday. What the fuck? Like,
yeah, he just got shot. Somebody always getting shot, and that's how they replace him.
Or that actor wasn't available that day, or didn't have good chemistry, or whatever it is. But yeah,
the good chemistry. Because, bro, if you miss one day on the soap, you was booked. Hey, bro, that's your ass. They gonna write your character out.
Yeah, or if you don't have a presence with the audience, again, because he said grandmothers, if they don't like an actor, get them off of there. They're harsher than wrestling critics.
Yeah, because you gotta just because they on all day, goddamn every day, Monday through Friday at all day. So it's like, yeah, and then the news follow after that. So,
but thank you all for tuning in for this rare Thursday night edition of Banks versus Davis. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that. Tune in Saturday. We're sending the GOAT off into the retirement he truly deserves.
I won't be watching, but I'll talk about it.
You will. Shut up.
No, I don't, dude. I don't want to get sad. What the fuck?
You're sad every day.
Yeah, I can tell you why.
I know why. Because you don't have what's her name in front of
you. India Love. Yeah.
No, not her. I was gonna say a different one.
Several. Yeah.
Yeah. But and like I said, stay tuned to the channel when we'll be doing our, like I said, year in review for movies and other parts of culture this year. I'm trying to think of who the MVP is for this year, because for 2020 our MVP was Michael Jordan, because The Last Dance was the best thing to get us through the pandemic times. 2021 was John Cena, because he was dominating his return to wrestling and and movies, because he had Fast 9, The Suicide Squad, and the Peacemaker show was announced, so he was our MVP for 2021. 2022 was Tom Cruise, because he saved Hollywood just for it to die like it is right now with the possible merger of Netflix and Warner Brothers. 2023 and 2024, we didn't have one given off and on, but I would say 2024 would be Anthony Edwards, because he took that Timberwolves team to the West Finals, and he had the best shoe in the NBA and the best commercials out of every athlete. Yeah. But so 2025's MVP right now, it's looking like Ryan Coogler. He's going to be MVP of the year. Great movie, Sinners, go shit. Thank y'all.
I
Like,
tell
and
you
then
mine. Mine is Don't Call Me White Girl. That's my MVP of the year
oh
right there.
god, I can't. Again, you want? I would take
No, she's
Jada Pinkett.
hilarious.
That's the only person I would take Jada Pinkett over. She looks horrible. Ugh.
God damn,
Was
dog. I
your
wasn't even talking
girlfriend?
about
Woof.
I wasn't even talking about how she look. I was talking about her podcasting abilities.
That's not
God
even if I
damn.
was drunk. No, 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 no.
Jesus, dude, you ain't got to kill the woman. I was talking about her podcast ability. You had to
Uh,
talk about how she looked, and you killed her.
they got rid
God.
of Melissa Ford for her. Of course, I'm going to talk about how she looks.
Yeah, but she only on there every
I don't
now and then.
listen to
Look
that.
at
I don't listen to that.
Rome.
I don't listen to that garbage anyway. Who wants to hear Joe Budden talk about
Even Rome said, "Damn, bro, you that's fucked up. That's somebody's mama."
But stay tuned to the channel. Like so, we might try to do that episode about who are the worst fandoms in sports. I might try to do a college football playoff breakdown with a special guest. Shout out to RAOP, you and Amp and B-Dot have been killing it with the bonus episodes.
Fuck be that.
Shout out to you and Eve. Great episode of Wiretap. That jackass theme is still in my head. So make sure
I'm
you
about
go
to
to
watch that right now.
Black and House Tables Patreon. Pay to hear Wiretap. Go to RLP's Patreon, hear tangents, all the bonus episodes. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.